Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is Yasmina Isa, and I'm here to welcome you to the fifth class from Glow from the Inside Out, and we're talking about the keys to gut health, metabolism, and immunity. So it's a really exciting topic, so crucial in today's world, and in general. But before we begin, I'd like to do our dua from Prophet Musa or Moses. May God's peace be upon him, and then we'll begin right there. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Okay, so gut health and digestion is so important because we could be talking about, the right foods to eat and the right things to do, but if it's not traveling through our body the right way, if the nutrients, are not being absorbed properly, we have a big problem there. So, there's so much we could talk about on this topic, just like with any other topic, and I received so many different things in the survey that you filled out, but we're going to focus on the most impactful tips, God willing, and then you ladies know that I will be answering all specific questions in our next Q&A call, because that's where I could really get into depth with the very specific questions. I got some very specific questions in terms of specific supplement recommendations, stuff about candida, stuff about gluten, all these different things, which I would be happy to talk about on our Q&A call. But I'm going to get into just the basics of digestion right now. So number one thing I see women do in my work with them that kills their digestion is not having complete set meals. So if you're snacking, or if you don't have a good breakfast, a good lunch, a good dinner, we're going to have a problem with digestion, because if you're not getting the nutrients you need and the combination of what you need, your body's not going to be able to process everything most effectively. Now, there's a school of thought that says you need 3 meals a day, and then there's many people who go with the 5 meals a day. I've seen both. Both could be very successful. It depends on your lifestyle. Obviously, if you're doing 5 a day, that's a little bit more work, but some people might want to eat more frequent. Obviously, those meals are going to be smaller in size than if you're having 3 per day, but both could work very well. You just want to be consistent. So if you're, having 3, if you're having 3 a day, you might have like a 4 to almost 5-hour gap between meals. If you're having 5 a day, you might have like a 3-hour gap. You typically want to have at least 3 hours, minimum 2.5 hours, but I would say 3, even so you could balance out the whole drinking your water properly and whatnot. But you want to make sure that every single meal, regardless of how many meals you're having per day, has a protein, a carb, and a fat. So crucial, especially the protein and the healthy fat, because those things keep you full. So if you're hungry half an hour or an hour after eating, you probably didn't have a very nutrient dense meal, or there might even be some psychological hunger issues going on there, which we'll talk about in another session. But you really want to make sure that you're eating full meals, and you want to pick what's good for your lifestyle. So if you're very busy, I don't know if 5 meals a day is really going to be realistic. You might just want to have 3 really good meals per day and whatnot. But you don't want to be like snacking and nibbing and not having breakfast and not having a good dinner or a good lunch or whatever the case may be. You want to make sure you're eating well. Even when I run my Ramadan program, and the time is very limited these days because Ramadan is in the summer, so the fasts are longer, I still recommend that there should be like a small meal in between suhoor and iftar, so that we're eating at least 3 times. And that's especially key if you're trying to keep your energy levels up. So that is one of my tips, to eat complete meals. The next one is chewing. So when we chew our food properly, all these enzymes are created. Our mouth is designed, our saliva is designed to produce enzymes when we chew our food properly. If you're not chewing enough, or if I'm not chewing enough, we're depriving our stomach of those extra enzymes, and it's really important. Now, I'm not saying to sit there and chew a bajillion times, but don't scarf your food down either. So try to keep it balanced, try to be more conscious of your chewing. It helps you feel fuller as well, and it helps you enjoy your food more. and it's very key. You want to make sure you're having a bowel movement at least once a day, and if you're not, that's something that you want to find a way to make happen for sure. Bowel movements are a key indicator of your digestive health, and if you want more information on this topic, the source that I really like and trust, although I gather my sources from many different places, is I really like the work of John Douillard. His website is lifespa.com. He talks a lot about bowel health, which is really important because, let's be real here, whatever you're eating needs to come out, and it should be coming out in a way where your food, your nutrients are getting absorbed, and you're not dealing with, gastrointestinal issues on the way and whatnot. Everyone should be taking a good probiotic, and I know I got questions about this in the survey. Probiotics are the good bacteria, and most of us, our body just doesn't have enough of that on its own. And especially if you've ever been on antibiotics anytime throughout your life, even if it was when you were a child, 20, 30, 40, whatever years ago. Thing is antibiotics can't tell the difference between good or bad bacteria. They wipe everything out. And on top of that, sometimes if you're not familiar with probiotics, and most probiotics are in the billions, so they could be anywhere from 5 billion to 85 billion. Personally, through the research I've seen and working with clients with many different digestive issues, most people need at least 20 billion probiotics per day. And if you're having any sort of digestive issue, if you have IBS or Crohn's or gas or food sensitivities or stomach issues or chronic constipation, you're probably going to need even more than that. But really, in the billions, it sounds really big, but it's really nothing, and I'm about to prove that to you. We have, on average, 70 trillion cells in our human body. Obviously, that's going to differ a little bit between each of us, but about 70 trillion. Do you see how 70 trillion just showed us that 20 billion is nothing? And most research shows that every cell has 10 times that much bacteria in the body. So yes, we really need good bacteria. And yes, you could get it from certain foods, but not in that really high quantity. And for those that were under the VIP package, I did send out 2 products of really high quality probiotics to them. And I'd be happy to, on the Q&A call, I could recommend specific brands just because I need to know more about the specific person and whatnot in terms of how much they should be taking and whatnot. But 2 brands that I really, really trust and work across the board, and you should do your own research on this as well, is Garden of Life and also Vibrant Health. They have really good products. And let's see, what else did I want to mention in terms of the realm of digestion? Food sensitivity. So certain people can't handle certain foods, and it's important to listen to your body. If a certain food gives you gas, that's probably an indication that something is going on. I'm going to post something called the Food Mood Diary, where you could actually track your symptoms. That will be posted within our private Facebook group, and you'll be able to kind of learn if there's certain foods that just don't do it for you. So this is a really basic class on digestion because the topic is so big. I urge you to take part in our next Q&A call, God willing, inshallah, where I'll be going more in depth with this. Any good is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of the heavens and the earth. Any bad is from myself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.